What's up, guys? My name's Kelechi. You can call me Coach K. Reason why you clicked on this video is because you want to know how to drop body fat in 2 weeks. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you the exact routine I used on my fitness transformation so you can get started and you can get closer to getting the body that you want. So this is going to be a step-by-step guide on what exactly you need to do so you can get that six pack. So listen up, guys. Right, so we're talking about the first 2 weeks. How can you drop body fat in the first 2 weeks? Now, these first 2 weeks are crucial. The reason why it's so important is because 87.6% of people will quit their fitness journey if they do not see results in the first 2 weeks. So the point of this video is to help you capitalize on the start of your journey so you can build momentum and you can actually get that six pack that you want, right? We're talking about getting that V-taper, getting lean, getting ripped, getting shredded. This is for you. So listen up, and this is going to be, as I said, exactly what I did when I started my transformation. So the first thing that you need to do when you're starting your transformation is to adopt the mentality that you need. So how do you do that? Well, easy. Again, it's step by step. What you do is you walk into the bathroom, you take your clothes off, and you look into the mirror. And you decide right there that you're going to make a change, that enough is enough, and you're ready to get the body that you want, and you're ready to get the body that you actually can be proud of. That's the first step, right? It's psychology, right? You need emotion behind it. You need passion. You need to be tired of your situation and you need to be ready to make a change. So look in the mirror, have a close look, take a picture and then look at the picture. Take a video and then look at the video. Really see what you look like. Because when you're just using your eyes, right, it gets distorted. When you actually see yourself on video or in the picture, that's when you can actually see what you actually look like. So do that. Look at that video, look at that picture, and then decide that you can do better and you're going to do better today, right now. So that's the first thing that you do. The second thing you need to do is to set your target. This is the end result. What do you want at the end of this? Is it a six pack? Do you want to hit a certain weight? Do you want a V-taper? Decide what you want. Simplest thing to go for is let's get abs, right? You want to see those abs. That way you're at a relatively low body fat and you want to keep some muscle on too, right? So make that decision. And when I talk about setting a target, don't just say what you want, set a time frame, right? You need to challenge yourself. You need that pressure. You need the fire in your step. And that only happens when you feel like there's no time to waste. So set a time limit. What I did, again, this is step by step. I said, okay, I want a six pack in 60 days. Let's go for it, starting right now, right? Look at yourself in the mirror, decide enough is enough, then set your target and then really comprehend and really allow yourself to acknowledge that this is happening right now. There's no more excuses and it's happening today. Those are the first two steps, right? It's all about passion. It's all about determination. It's all about having that set target because the next step, obviously, is to walk towards it. So we've got our resolve. We know what we want. Now let's talk about how we get there. Now this is fitness. This is weight loss. This is fat loss. The most important variable is your diet. It's what you are putting in your mouth on a daily basis. So what you need to do is to analyze your current diet, right? You need to start writing out exactly what you're eating, right? So for instance, if you had rice and chicken with some vegetables, you need to be writing that down. What time did you eat? It's 2:34 p.m. Rice, plate of rice, 2 chicken thighs, right? You're writing it down, you're logging it, right? This information is crucial. You need to know exactly what you're consuming. That is what allows you to make the adjustments and move closer to your goal. So do not skip this step. I know it seems simple and it might seem like it's small, but it's extremely important. You're going to start tracking exactly what you are eating. What I did personally is I pulled up notes on my phone. Anytime I was going to eat something going into my mouth, I'm writing down what time it is, what am I eating, and how much is there. If you don't know the exact weight, then estimate, right? If you're eating similar things every day, you should know in your head roughly what the portion sizes are, and you should be jotting that down. You should be writing that down. Now, since it's your first day on this fat loss journey, you don't have enough information logged down as to what you're eating right now. So what I want you to do is to sit down and think, what do you eat on a daily basis? You're going to think about what you eat on a daily basis, and you're going to pick one thing that you can remove from your diet that will be beneficial to your fat loss journey. For me personally, what I removed from my diet was cheese and honey, right? Whereas cheese is good for your bones, right? It's got a lot of fat. Honey, obviously, especially local honey, raw honey, it's very good for you. However, lots of sugar and fat together helps you keep weight on. We're looking about fat loss, which is why I chose to stop consuming cheese and honey. That alone reduced my calories. The first 2 weeks, all I did was remove cheese and honey, track everything, and actually drop weight just off that. So what I want you to do is pick something that in your mind that is bad for you, that you shouldn't be eating, and is going to be detrimental to your weight loss journey. And I want you to remove it from the diet. Whether that's donuts, whether that's Oreos, whether it's ice cream, pick one thing and remove it from your diet completely. Reason why I say one thing is because fat loss requires consistency. If you change everything, it becomes very difficult to stick with it, right? Baby steps. We want to make steps that you can repeat on a daily basis. If you're only picking one thing out that you're going to stop eating, it should be easy enough, especially if you're dedicated to your fitness journey, because you just looked at that video or you just looked at those pictures and you decided that you are serious and that you are willing to remove that. So remove that from your diet. Next thing is you're going to be consistent, right? So you've looked in the mirror, you've decided what you wanted to do, you've removed a piece of junk food from your diet, you're tracking things, and you're going to do that every day for the next 2 weeks. Now let's talk about why this is effective and why this works. Now let's talk about looking at yourself in the mirror and taking that video. The reason why this is so effective is because in order for you to change, there needs to be impulse. There needs to be something that stirs the emotions inside of you in order to give you enough passion to get started on that journey. You're overcoming that initial inertia. Object at rest stays at rest. Object in motion stays in motion. So in order for you to be where you are, right, stuck, overweight, and to move along your fitness journey, you need something that's going to get you started and give you that push. That's what that video is for. That's what that picture is for. You need to look at that and decide to yourself, enough is enough. And not only are you going to take that video and take that picture, every morning, the first thing when you're going to wake up is you're going to take that video again, or you're going to take another picture. And it's going to be an everyday thing. Over time, guess what? You'll have progress pictures. You'll have progress videos. So you'll actually be able to see the progress that you're making. Again, that's very important because obviously when people see progress, they stay consistent. So make sure you're taking those pictures or videos. The next thing obviously is direction. You need a clear goal. It's a good thing that you've decided enough is enough, but you need to know where you're going. Because if you have no direction, obviously you have all this passion, and then you just start going in circles, and then the passion will fade away, and then you'll just be where you were. And then all of this is for nothing. So you need to make sure there's direction, right? That's why you need that goal. So whether that's 30 pounds, whether that's 50 pounds, whether it's a 6-pack, whatever it is, it needs to be a specific and clear goal. Again, my goal was 6-pack in 60 days. That's what I was shooting for. I think it's a good target, especially if you have good structure. It challenges you to stay on track, because if you want to get a 6-pack in 60 days, it means you can't waste any days, right? It keeps you focused and moving in the right direction. So have that target. Now then, let's talk about why you need to pick something out of your diet and remove it. The reason why it's so important is because you're developing a skill, right? When it comes to getting in shape, a lot of it is not actually about what you do. A lot of it is about what you choose not to do. It's about what you don't do. So when you decide, I'm going to stop doing this, I'm going to stop eating this thing that's taking me away from my goal. It shows discipline, it shows restraint, and it's building a skill, right? Every day you're saying, I'm not doing this. It becomes a habit. Then you get comfortable not doing things that are detrimental to your fitness journey, next thing you know, you start looking for more things that you can fix, more things that you can change, right? But it's incremental. That's what we want. We want incremental progress that we can sustain over a period of time. So that way we can drop weight, we can drop fat. That's why that's so important. So definitely pick something that you're eating that is not good for fat loss and get rid of it. Take it out of your diet. And last but not least, you need to be tracking everything. So why is tracking so important, right? Or if you just eat well, why do I need to track it? I'm going to tell you why it's important. Tracking is what allows you to be consistent. It's also what allows you to make adjustments. If you don't know what you ate and things were going well, how are you going to repeat that? That week was good. How is the next week going to be as good if you don't know what you did? If things went poorly, how are you going to make the adjustments? What are you going to change to make sure that next week goes better? If you don't have anything written down of what you did, you're not going to know where you're going wrong. You're also not going to know where you're going right. Not to mention, it's an active reminder. Every single time you're writing something down, what you're telling to your brain subconsciously is that this fitness journey is important to me. Every time you're writing something down, you're reminding yourself, oh, I have a goal. I'm trying to get a six-pack in 60 days. Every time you jog, right, let's say you have 3 meals and you have 2 snacks. That's 5 times a day. You actively have to sit down and think and take action and say, this is what I'm eating. And then at the end of the day, you can look over that and you can say to yourself, yes, I'm going in the right direction. Not only does it obviously help you make adjustments, but it also reinforces the fact that you are who you say you are, that you are disciplined. And it's building a skill, consistency, right? It's another way you can be consistent. It's another way you can genuinely feel that you're making progress on your fitness journey. And again, as we know, more progress you make, more likely you are to stick with it, more likely you are to stay consistent, and the more likely you will hit your goal. So make sure that you follow these tips if you want to lose belly fat in your first 2 weeks. If you need help or if you have any questions, leave the questions in the comment. If you need extra help, you need one-on-one help, you need someone to keep you motivated, keep you accountable so you can actually stay on track this time, reach out. We offer one-on-one coaching and we will make sure that you get that 6-pack. Easiest way to reach us is on WhatsApp. I hope this has been helpful. And again, if you need help, reach out. Get that 6-pack, guys. Peace.